Hello, hi, this is Omwami Mwenyewe. Welcome to Omwami Mwenyewe channel. Today I want to walk us through the definition of the South African money notes and coins that are used in South Africa. Remember, as well as other countries, Kenya and even Uganda and also East Africa country, the African countries, they have their own. But today I want to walk us through the South African current notes used. I remember the South Africa note, or let me define the South Africa. The South African rand is the national currency of the country of South Africa, which has a symbol as ZAR, being the current abbreviation for the rand in foreign exchange forex markets. The South Africa rand is made up of 100 cents and is often presented in the symbol R. The rand comes from the word Witwatersrand, which means white water rich, Johannesburg. The location of majority of South Africa coal deposits is located on this ridge. And remember the key notations that South Africa have takeaways. The South African rand is the national currency of the country of South Africa. The rand was introduced in February 1961 and mostly held a state back against the US dollar until the end of apartheid. Since then, its value has depreciated as the South Africa economy has become increasingly linked to the rest of the world. Several countries in the region peg their national currencies to the rand. For the most part, the rand's value was linked to the price of gold, South Africa's main export during its early days. Remember, we all understand that South Africa rand was first introduced in February 1961, just before the Republic of South Africa was established. The rand replaced the South Africa pound, a rate of 2 rand to 1 pound. Up until the early 1970s, the rand was worth around RS 1.5 per US dollar. However, over the ensuing decades, the rand's exchange rate has depreciated or weakened, meaning it cost more rand to convert to as US dollar. For example, it had costly approximately the rand 2.55 to convert to 1 US in 1990, and by 1999 the exchange rate was 6.14 to the US dollars. South Africa experienced major political changes in the early 1990s. For years, South Africa was ruled by apartheid, and by the late 1980s and early 1990s, the political landscape had changed. One of the outspoken critics and leaders of the anti-apartheid struggle was Nelson Mandela, imprisoned for his views for 20 years. However, on February 11, 1990, Mr. Mandela was freed, and by 1994 he was elected President of South Africa. After the dismantling of the apartheid system, the figures depicted on the rand's banknotes were changed to reflect South Africans' shifting, identifying a priority, political and otherwise. Up until the 1990s, the rand mainly contained photos of people and notable leaders from the apartheid regime. Instead, a series of banknotes containing photos of the country's treasury were introduced. Also in 2012, a rand banknote containing a picture of former President Nelson Mandela was released as a part of the Mandela series. Rands are gold coins. They were minted by the Republic of South Africa in 1967 to help promote South Africa gold to international markets, and today make it possible for individuals to own gold. Rands are among the most frequently traded gold coins in the world market. The coins still have legal tender status in South Africa, although rands were never assigned a round value. Rands were designed to derive their value exclusively from the price of gold and the time they are traded. If the price of gold changes, so does the price of the rand. Remember the model of the Bank of the England (BAE), the South African Reserve Bank, or in the notation we can say ZAR, stands as the monetary authority for South Africa and issued its currency, taking of major responsibilities similar to those of other central banks. The ZAR, South Africa Reserve Bank, also known as the creditor in a certain situation, a clearing bank, and a major custodian of gold. And remember, we are watching Omwami Mwenyewe channel. I remember turning on. I remember to subscribe and share. Don't stop to leave your comment. Make sure you watch and above all else, the central bank in each of the achievement and mechanisms of price stability. This also includes intervention in the forex markets when necessary. Interestingly, the CRB remains a wholly owned private entity with more than 800 shareholders who are regulated by owning less than 1% of the total number of outstanding shares. This is to ensure that the interests of the economy precedes those of any private individuals. To maintain this policy, the governor and 14 members board head the bank activities and work towards monetary goals. The board meets regularly during the year. The rand monetary area. The establishment of the rand monetary areas in 1974 allowed Switzerland, Botswana, and Lesotho to issue currencies unique to their national. Before the agreement, these countries had participated in a formal arrangement among the same countries where only the South Africa currency circulated. Through the RMA agreement, the South Africa rand remained legal tender in all member national and circulation alongside the national money of the member nations. Botswana withdrew from the agreement in 1975. In 1986, following the establishment of the rand, the countries replaced the RMA with the Common Monetary Area (CMA) to manage monetary policy. The CMA and the South Africa Customs Union work together to help member nations. The term of the new agreement provided Switzerland with additional flexibility in monetary policy. In 2018, Switzerland changed in the name to Eswatini. Several African countries in the region still back their national currency to the rand, including the Switzerland, Lingen, and Lesotho lot. The rands, for the most part, the rand's value was linked to the price of gold, South Africa's main export during its early days. In the recent years, the rand is somewhat correlated with gold prices, and as the South Africa economy still relies on its gold exports. Gold is the country most exported from goods, representing 15% of the total exports. in 2019 or $16.8 billion. South Africa also exports other commodities including palladium and iron ore to predominantly China, Europe, and the United States. However, major world developments have also determined ZAR price trajectory. The September 11 attacks in 2001 created global uncertainty, and the rands took a steep dive, falling to R13 per US dollar. After the currency steadied for several years, the rand was one of the many emerging market currencies that got hit during the 2007-2008 financial crisis. Emerging market currencies suffered as investors flocked to safe haven currencies such as US dollar and the Japanese yen in the span of 12 months. From January, I think, 08 to January 09, the rands fell by more than 35% against the US dollars. During the global coronavirus pandemic, the rand weakened to more than 17 per US, and as of against 2021, settled to approximately 15 per US. South Africa rand ZAR is simply as abbreviation of the South Africanese rand ZAR, which takes its name from Witwatersrand, the location of the majority of South Africa gold deposit. As of August 18, 2021, the rand, which is one South Africa rand, is equivalent to 0.066 US dollar. The currency of which countries is pegged to the South Africa rand. Three countries that peg their currencies which the rand, and this is Lesotho and Namibia. Is South Africa let me ask this question: is a South Africa rand and GRU rand the same thing? And my answer is no. While the coins have legal tender status in South Africa, GRU don't have a signed rand value. GRU derive their value from the gold contained within, and the price of gold fluctuates so does the value of currents. Yes. So today I've been walking us through the definitions and the South African money as we understand, and I've shown you the abbreviation of the South Africa is in rands there, that is South African value. And remember, you're watching on my new channel, and remember today I want to say thank you for all of us, and maybe tomorrow I shall also come to show us the Kenyan currency. Thank you for watching, thank you for subscribing, and those who have not subscribed, remember to support your donation and subscribe. Thank you. Good time, nice time.